Hey guys, how's it going? It's Thang. Welcome to another guide video. Yes, I know my cat is cleaning himself right there. Just get your mind out of the gutter, people. He's not licking his spot. He's licking his feet. Anyway, so we are looking at the Barbarian Thorns build today because, as you know, I play a Thorns Crusader, so why not cover this? And essentially, it's pretty much the same thing as a Thorns Crusade, but except for a little bit weaker. As in, like, he's not weak, he's just very squishy, in my opinion, anyways. So, exact same thing as the Thorn Crusader. The faster you apply thorns, the faster things die, and you multiply your thorns damage, and that's it. So, watch a little clip, and we'll get into the gears, the Paragon levels, skills, and all that stuff. And I'll see you guys after. Yes, he's still cleaning himself. Alright, so welcome back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little clip. So we're going to jump into stats priority first. Our main stats, well, two of them actually, which you should prioritize equally, is life on hit and cooldown reduction. We want them to be max as much as possible because life on hits is the way that how we're going to heal ourselves, and also cooldown reduction allow us to use our abilities as soon as possible. So yeah, so two are top priority, and then you have pretty much all the rest are permanently going to be defensive stats, like all resist or armor, area plus damage if you can, and that's pretty much it. Also, our strength stats does increase thorns. Alright, so let's jump into our gears and what we need. So the first two items we need is the Legacy of Nightmare's Rings, Litany of the Undaunted, and the Wailing Host. So I'm pretty sure you know what these do. So while this is your only set item bonus, every ancient item you have equipped increases your damage dealt by 100% and reduces your damage taken by 4%. So every single ancient item you have on you, including the ring, so I have two right now, your damage is increased by 100% each, so 200% total right now, and my damage is decreased by 4% each, so 8 total. So the more ancient item you have, the more damage you do. So the maximum slots you have is 13, so that means a total of 1300 damage increase. Okay. So the next item is going to be Lyrak's Crown to help us reduce our cooldown reduction. So now on this thing, you should have actually life on hit on the helm, strength, vitality, and life on hit, okay? I don't, because this is actually coming from my Crusader, which is pretty interesting. So all the items here is pretty much the same thing as the Legacy of Nightmare items from the Crusader, so you can switch back and forth through whichever character you want to play. You want to play a Barbarian, you can just pretty much do that if you already have the item. So the next Pauldron of the Skeleton King right here, this will help us to survive a little bit more. When receiving fatal damage, there's a chance that you are instead restored to 25% of your maximum health and cause nearby enemies to flee in fear. Next one is St. Archu's Gauge. Same thing, survivability. The first time an elite pack damages you, you gain an absorbed shield to equal X amount equal to your life for 10 seconds to 120 to 150. Next is Aquila Cuirass right here for survivability. While above X amount of resource, all your damage taken is reduced by 50% because we will always have pretty much maximum resource. There's no problem maintaining that. Next one is going to be Sanguinary Ram Braces. This actually will help you do AoE damage when it procs. So chance on being hit to deal 1000% of your Thorns damage to nearby enemies. So this will help you to pretty much do AoE damage right there, okay? Next is going to be Swampland Waders right here. So this is interesting. So these pants, we usually use the hexing pants of Mr. Yang or Mr. Yang's hexing pants, whatever, for the Crusader because we're moving around a lot. But the gameplay of how the Thorns Crusader is that you stand still. Stand still quite a lot. If you need to move out of, like, you know, fire. Fire is bad, kids. So these pants are the only pants that can roll elemental damage on them. And these are Witch Doctor pants, so only a Witch Doctor can pretty much get it unless you have some weird random drop where it does drop for you. So you'd have to go on your Witch Doctor to get these pants and then make them ancient. And not only that, it needs to have good stats, right? It needs to have pretty much good stats. If they don't have good stats, then that means pretty much is horrible. So luckily I rolled a physical 20 plus damage on these pants, so I can reroll the armor to strength if I wanted to. That's up to me. So these are pretty good. As if they were ancients, they would be awesome, but they're not. So have fun trying to get these pants. Okay, and then we're going to be using the illusory boots right here. This will allow you to move through mobs unhindered, and which is actually really great. And one of those OP type of items, which people don't really use that much, but that's okay. So for our belts, we're going to use the Pride of Cassius right here. Increase the duration of Ignore Pain for 4 seconds. X amount 4 to 6 seconds. Why do I always get really crappy min-max? Anyways, so for the amulet, the best one is always going to be the Hellfire amulet. If you don't have that, the Eye of Ouch, etching, ouch, whichever, is actually really great. The reason it's good is it will reduce damage taken by range attacks, right? So like arrows and all that stuff, because a lot of the times you're standing still and there's a lot of range enemies shooting at you. So Eye of Ouch is good. If you don't have it, get the Flavor of Time right here because it does have cooldown reduction on it. That's why I have it. For our weapons, we're gonna be using the hack right here to apply Thorns damage, X amount to our attack. And then this one, the Oath Keeper, your primary skill attacks 50% faster and deal X amount of damage increase. So this also helps us to pretty much apply Thorns much faster. So that is all the items that we need for this build. Okay, for the gems, as I mentioned, strength does increase your Thorns damage, so it's up to you whether you want to choose either strength gems, so the ruby gems, or the diamond gems. So the diamond gems will allow you to pretty much survive more, while the red gems does increases your Thorns damage. So it's up to you. For higher grade rifts, it would be recommended to use the diamond gems. So that is, like I said, it's up to you whether you want to. If you feel like you die too much, go with the diamond gems. If you feel like you don't die and you want to do more damage, go with the red gems. So we still need the diamond gems in our helm. Okay, for our legendary gems, pretty much the usual: Bane of the Trap to increase damage, Bane of the Stricken to increase damage and also kill Rift Guardians much faster, and lastly is the Bajowski's Chip for Thorns damage. Okay, let's go to the Kanai Cube. The Kanai Cube is right here. The Bastion's Revered Frenzy now stacks up to 10 times, and you'll see the skills why later. And then we have Nemesis Bracers right here to progress faster. If you don't want to use the Nemesis Bracers, you can always use the Heart of the Iron right here to increase your Thorns equal to your Vitality. Your Vitality has a limit, so that's really up to you if you want to use the Heart of the Iron or not. The Nemesis Bracers are good enough to progress faster. And then you have Conventions of Elements right here. No need to explain for that one, okay? Let's head into our Paragon levels. So remember, max your movement speed to 25%. That means including your boots as well. Strength, then everything into strength. Offensiveness is cooldown reduction, and then attack speed. These two don't really matter. You do whatever you want. Defensiveness, all resist, armor, life regen, and then life. Utility, area damage, and life per hit, and then those two does not matter, okay? Okay, so for our skills, our primary skill where we use to apply thorns is going to be Frenzies right here with Maniac. So the attack of it and the rune of it, the elemental rune of it does not matter. What matters is the Frenzies attack speed increased by 15% for 4 seconds with each swing. This effect stacks up to 5 times. So that's why we have the Bastions Revered stacking up to 10 times instead of 5 times. So our attack speed is increased by 150%. So that is really good, and each frenzy effects also increases your damage by 2.5%. So 2.5 is 25% increase in damage overall, which includes your thorns. Furious Charge right here with Merciless Assault, a rush towards knocking and dealing 600 recharge time. So this pretty much allows you to get out of things really fast and easily, so you don't die. And also it pretty much does a knock up and it stuns it a little bit. Okay, so threatening shout right here. Shout with your great ferocity, reducing damage done by enemies within 25 yards by 20 seconds for 15 seconds. So for survivability right here. Not only that, but affected enemies are also taunted to attack you for 4 seconds. So it creates a radius around you where enemies who, let's say, range enemies, they just attack you from far. They pretty much come in closer, so that way you can mob everything and kill everything really fast. For this one, we have Warcry with Impunity. Unleashes a rally cry to increase his armor for you and your allies for 20% for 120 seconds. Increase resistance to all elements by 20% while affected by Warcry. So that's pretty good. Ignore Pain. So reduce all damage taken by 50% and gain immunity to all control effects for 7 seconds. Now because we have the belt, that is 11 seconds. That is really good. So that's why we really want high cooldown reduction, so we can use all the really great survivability skills as much as we can. And last one is Wrath of the Berserker Insanity. Pretty much gain 50% increase in damage and critical chance, attack speed, dodge, and movement speed. So I don't need to explain that. So let's go into our passive skills. Boon Kathos. I'm really bad at pronouncing this. I actually read the D3 book. Bokathos is actually in the book itself. Boon of Bokathos. Reduce the cooldown of your Wrath of the Berserker. Yay! And then we got Berserker's Rage right here. You deal 25% additional damage while near maximum Fury. So we always want to have Fury. It's 122, but it's okay. We want Fury to be pretty much at 100 if we can. Tough as Nail, increase your armor by 25% and increase thorns by 100%. And lastly is Rampage. Increase strength by 1% for 8 seconds after killing or assisting in a kill, killing an enemy. This effect stats to 25%. So 25% of your strength. That pretty much transfers into increase in thorns damage. So that's why I mentioned earlier where your stats, your strength does increases thorns damage. So it's up to you. Okay, so now for our followers, we want to use the Templar. We don't really want to use the Enchantress because our attack speed is going to be super high. The Templar has more survivability, and that is what we want. So for the Templar, we want his Immunity Relic. Then we want the Thunder Fury right here, so that whenever he does the proc, it does 30% less attack speed for enemies and jumps up to 5 seconds. Then we also have the Oculus Ring right here. Chance to create an area that focus, so increase in damage when you're in that area or the mobs are in the area. And then Wayward Ring right here. So lightning damage has a X amount to set chance to stun for 1.5 seconds. So pretty much crowd control and damage decrease to you. And then lastly is going to be the S of Johan. So it just pulls everything together. A chance to pull everything together, which was 80%, but 60% is still good. Kind of so good. Anyways, skills wise, we want heal, loyalty, charge, and guardian. So that way we pretty much have a lot of cheat death with the Templar. Okay, and that's pretty much it for the guide. Thank you so much for watching this video. As you know, I play a Crusader, so pretty much natural for me to do a Barbarian Thorns build, cover it anyways. So thank you again so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know down in the description, well, the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to press subscribe. Bye. Love ya.